Mr. James L. Redman was born the only child of James and Madeline on January 19, 1932, here in Hillsborough County. Except for while pursuing his education and performing calls to duty, he has always resided here. During his boyhood and school days, he enjoyed being a good student and participating in many types of athletics. He played organized basketball, baseball, football, lettering in all three, and just about anything else known to man. And he was reported to be good at them by his fellow classmates. In fact, Bill Parolini says, "He gave me the hardest lick of my entire life. It lifted me off the ground, put me on my back, and I wasn't sure if I was ever going to get up." More than just athletic, Mr. Redman was a bright student and a popular kid. He completed high school in 1949, where D.E. Bailey Jr. was then teaching. After high school graduation, Mr. Redman went straight to the University of Florida, where he received a B.S. degree in business administration with a major in accounting in 1953. He was active in the Kappa Alpha fraternity, even enjoying a fraternity date with his future wife while there. She had lived only a few blocks away growing up, but was a few years his junior, flying beneath his radar a bit during high school. But a passel of Plant City girls were imported to Gainesville for a party, and their first date was when she was a junior in high school, and Jim was a junior in college. He was no dummy, for she was already considered a ravishing beauty and was only 1 year away from winning the Strawberry Festival Queen's crown in 1953. A frat date with a beauty queen was all part of Jim's all-American college experience. Mr. Redman matriculated into the University of Florida Law School, but during his second semester he was called to military duty in early 1954 and spent a 2-year stint in the United States Air Force as a first lieutenant, working as an auditing officer. He was stationed in England and tells 2 stories of his life then that are quite illuminating. In one, he was practically required by his superior officer to purchase some raffle tickets for a local worthy charity effort. Mr. Redman bought only 2, and those with reluctance. The giveaway prize was to be a red convertible sports car, and Jim won. He chose to take the cash prize rather than the showy car, saying to me a few days ago, "I couldn't take that car. What good would a car like that be for me? Besides, I still owed my father the money he lent me for my uniform." Not too many boys I know would turn down a shiny red convertible to repay a loan from their father. The second story came on the heels of his taking the raffle money. He was told by his commanding officer that he had to use some of it to throw a beer party for the fellas in his unit. But Mr. Redman said he didn't drink and he wasn't going to buy booze for a party. Jim was told that he would endure a court-martial if he did not go along. Those of you who know Mr. Redman can probably guess what that produced. Try to force him to do something he doesn't believe in. Try to get him to support something he doesn't agree with. Try to get him to loosen his morals with peer pressure. Mr. Redman told me, quote, "I walked out of there. I didn't do it. And nobody court-martialed me, so I guess he didn't do it either," end quote. Mr. Redman returned to law school in 1956, and while getting busy finishing his legal training, he also got busy with Mrs. Ruby Jean Barker. The word is that they had dated on again, off again, but that upon his return from the Air Force duty, their friendship blossomed into matrimony, and they were married in 1957. Mrs. Redman tells of how they went to the beach for their honeymoon to be rid of Plant City's busybody eyes, but that several Plant City folk were likewise at the beach, and they were watched every time they went out. They survived, and the couple returned to Gainesville, where Ruby Jean worked there as a teacher while Jim finished his law degree. Upon getting his credentials in 1958, Mr. Redman demonstrated his work ethic again by starting work with a hometown law firm, literally the very next day after graduation from law school. Jim tells of his time at the first job being one of working hard and watching some of the named partners indulging in laziness. Again, those of you who know Jim will know this wouldn't do at all. He shortly switched employers to the firm of Trinkle and Trinkle, which by his age 28 was renamed Trinkle, Trinkle, and Redman in the year 1960. Leap ahead with me to 1976, and you'll see the signs of an incredible journey. A man who is Plant City's Citizen of the Year, the head of a family that only 1 year prior was Plant City's Family of the Year, the father of 3 daughters, Susan, Pam, and Jeannie, a deacon and Sunday school teacher at the First Baptist Church of Plant City, an associate city judge in Plant City of 6 years, someone who has served 10 of his eventual 12 years in the Florida State House of Representatives on behalf of our community, a director and secretary of the Strawberry Festival Association, the president of the Farm Supply and Hardware Store of the Plant City Growers Association, the chairman of the board for the South Florida Baptist Hospital, where now years later a surgery center will bear his name, a member of the Tampa General Hospital Advisory Board, and folks, I'm running out of time. I must digress here a bit and mention the political career of Mr. Redman, for he added to our heritage with it, and helped our heritage efforts with it as well. He earned great distinction in politics for conservative values, integrity, frugality, diplomacy, and for successfully prosecuting and impeaching the state treasurer Thomas O'Malley and others for corruption. He did the near impossible, and he voted against his own pay raise. Recently he told me, quote, "You can't be a conservative unless you demonstrate that with your own money. A lot of them don't mind squandering it if it isn't their money." End quote. A Capitol Hill columnist described him as quite an anomaly up there, saying, quote, "He is the most formidable kind of foe, an honest man." End quote. Former House Speaker Lee Moffett said of Jim, quote, "He is his own man. He is totally bulletproof." End quote. It speaks volumes how later, in 1978, State Road 39 was greatly improved and renamed to honor Mr. Redman. And even more telling is how, in 1983, when 3 Hillsborough County commissioners were arrested or suspended due to corruption, Jim Redman was appointed to serve as an interim commissioner until elections could be organized. Such a successful and busy man still found time to care about Plant City's heritage efforts. In 1980, he and other partners of the Trinkle Law Firm restored a downtown treasure, namely the former Hillsborough Bank building. At this time, such a renovation was much needed and unheard of. Soon thereafter, Jim and others formed and began what was to become our city's Main Street program, and Jim was the founding secretary. While in the legislature, and despite his frugality and conservatism, he displayed joyful support of heritage and art by helping shake the money tree to fund the Art Train project, which helped bring the talent of John Briggs to our community. He is deservedly one of the men standing in the John Briggs mural painting. In recent years, he also demonstrated the heritage effort that many are slow to embrace in the world of restoration and renewal, namely creative destruction. Despite signs of protest and disapproving jeers, Mr. Redman and others sacrificed the Growers Building, which had great memories and fond attachments very dear to his heart. But he did it to help create what is now the centerpiece of activity in our restored downtown, the Linear Park and McCall Park Extension. In typical fashion, Mr. Redman spoke of a regret there, saying, quote, "I made a mistake. I should have insisted that they name that side of the park Trinkle Park or something to honor Robert and his father." End quote. While being open-minded to creative destruction at Growers, he was just as adamant about resisting ill-conceived destruction in the idea of abandoning the historic Baptist church sanctuary without giving it a genuine try for renovation. For a time, he stood practically alone in what has become the cornerstone building effort. He was viewed as a lunatic, but time has shown that monies are out there for it, interest has been raised for it, and once again, success shows us he is not a lunatic, but a smart man. And heritage work often begs that age-old question, what is the difference between a lunatic and a genius? And the answer, ladies and gentlemen, is success.